All right, back here again with the Harrisburg newsletter. My name is Matt Clark. If you don't know me, I've broadcasted a couple of the games for the Harrisburg Bulldogs on Misha TV and Huddle Fan, some of the Harrisburg sports teams at the Harrisburg School District throughout the winter sports season. Thank you so much for joining us. Today I am joined by Steve Combs, the superintendent of the Harrisburg School District. Mr. Combs, thank you for taking the time today to discuss all the exciting things that are happening in this district and the community right now. Go ahead and just introduce yourself and what you've done here in this community and in this district for so long.
Matt, I appreciate the intro, and I appreciate you coming over today and visiting me a little bit about the Harrisburg School District, one of my favorite topics.
Yeah.
Again, Steve Combs, third or fourth generation Harrisburgian, if you want to call it that. My grandfather graduated from here back in 23. My dad graduated here in 57, and I graduated here in 91. And so I came back to work here in 2000 and decided to be back and I've kind of worked my way from a teacher and coach and athletic director all the way up to superintendent. So I've done a lot of jobs and had a lot of experience in the district, but just excited to be here and excited to talk a little bit more about Harrisburg School District.
Absolutely. We are in the home stretch, sort of, it feels like, of the 2024-2025 school year. Tell me a little bit about the first 3 quarters of the school year, because you got about 2 or so months left before the kids are out for the summer.
Sure. It's been a phenomenal year. It's been a great year that we've had a lot of hard work and dedication. Our support staff has been wonderful this year. We've had an excellent job by our teachers and educators, principals, all the way through to bus drivers, to cooks, to everything. I think we've had a really good year this year. One of the things that we had, kind of highlight a few things, we had a little bit of change over in my central office the last year and a half, and I would be remiss if I did not mention those ladies' names. Becky Mackey's been a wonderful addition, kind of in her about a year and a half as a bookkeeper, and then Kara Douglas, who used to be my transportation director, decided to make a change and now is our accounts payable and human resources, and she's been here getting close to a year now. And so our office has been a little bit of transition and change, but it's really working out nicely, and excited for that. Had a lot of new staff in the elementary. We replaced several teachers who we had some retirements. Teresa McClure, give her a shout out, worked in the district forever, 28 years, and had some nice additions to that. Some folks move on, and Gabe Burris and leading the elementary did a nice job of molding some young teachers, also working with some veterans that came from other districts, and so we've had a great year. Mr. Wardrop in the middle school had a couple new additions, and Mr. Fisher at the high school had a couple new additions, and so it's been a good year of change. We're settling in. Kids have been great. It's been a fun year with, I think you're going to talk to Mr. Ackman a little bit about our activities, and not only athletics, but our band, our quiz bowl, and everything has just been really nice this year, and it's been a banner year for us.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit, I know we had talked about this before we went into the interview, but tell me a little bit about the district's standing financially. And with that, can you take me through some of the projects that have been going on throughout the Harrisburg School District, specifically the last bond project, the facility upgrades as well that the district has recently experienced, and what are some of the future bond projects that could be in the works?
Sure. Great question. So, just had our audit last month. We got our final audit for the year, and looking for last year's financial. Closed the books, of course, in late June, and opened up a new school year in July. And right now, we have a very healthy financial outlook of our district. We're meeting our reserve goals as far as our CSEP goals, where we're trying to keep a minimum balance of 30% reserves, and we're right at that mark. We had a good, clean audit. We're really making sure that we're vigilant with our consumers' tax dollars. We're making sure that we're providing a great education for our kids and our great opportunities, but also we're watching the book a little bit and making sure that we're not overstepping, overspending, which has been difficult in this time. This economy, everything has cost a lot more than it used to, and we're seeing it with not only salaries and benefits and teacher salaries, we're also seeing consumable products, our custodial costs, our maintenance costs, our food costs. And so it's been a trying time to kind of keep up with this current economy in the school district, just because we want to provide a great opportunity for our kids, but also, like I said, we want to make sure we're not overextending ourselves. And My admin team has done a great job of monitoring that. My school board has been very forthcoming. We look back at a 3-year overview of our school finances when we went through a bond project. We've done a nice job. We've added some upgrades. We've done some, used our money wisely. Didn't stretch it quite as far as it did, our first bond project under me in 18. But times are different. Construction costs skyrocketed in the last few years, and we just didn't get as much done as we wanted. But we did have a nice bond project that we were able to do a nice renovation to the cafeteria, do a lot of utility work at the North Campus that needed to be done. We renovated several classrooms that we wanted to upgrade, and some floors, and created some a facelift almost to the North Campus. We're not done. We've got a lot more to do with that building. That's our oldest area in the school district, and we're continuing to work on that. You mentioned a little bit about future bond projects. That's the thing we're going to go to work on. This is just kind of a planning year. We've had several ideas thrown around. I've had our architect, who we've kept on retainer from our previous bond issue, HTK, we worked phenomenally with them. And we're trying to go to work on our, it's called a lot of different things. We call it the West Wing a little bit. Some people call it the pole barn. It's the metal building that was a temporary building that was built in the 70s. That's kind of outlasted its life for sure, but we're trying to figure out what's the next phase for our elementary. We've kept kicking around, adding some classrooms and maybe eventually replacing that building. We've got some parking lots we need to take care of, but we try to just keep thinking forward, outside the box, on how we're going to look for the next 10 years. And so, because we've had a heck of a run here for the last 10 years, we're just kind of looking to the future now, see if we can upgrade.
Yeah, and all of that goes back to supporting these kids and supporting these students in this district, and making sure that they have the best education possible, and that this community can surround them in such a great way. So with that, obviously a big thing with the education at this point around is state testing. The MAP and the EOC tests are coming up. So tell me a little bit about the setup with that. How are you preparing as a district? How are the schools individually preparing for that?
Well, it comes down to teaching and learning. That's what we're focused on, and we're continuing to upgrade that as much as we can. And that starts with your biggest asset, and that's your educators. Without great educators, without great teachers, it's going to be tough no matter what you're doing curriculum-wise, or no matter what you're doing strategy-wise. You've got to have those folks in those classrooms that are really high level. That has been a goal of mine. It's been a goal of our school board to continue to get the best assets we can as far as educators in our district. We're one of the leading districts as far as the area, as far as starting pay, and also after 10 years, when they do their masters, we're also one of the leaders of that as well in Central Missouri, and we take a lot of pride with that. We're trying to get the best of the best teachers. We've had some, teachers. There's a real teacher shortage right now in the state of Missouri, and we're trying to all vie for teachers in this area. And so, making our pay attractive, making sure we're getting great quality candidates, and giving them as much support as we can. As far as magic bullets for testing and MAP scores and EOC, there's really not any. It comes down to hard work, dedication. It comes down to the folks that are delivering the instruction. And like I said, our board has been great about raising our pay scale to make sure we attract. We have a social studies opening this year, and for the first time in a long time, we've had double-digit applicants. We've had 19 or 20 applicants for that. And it comes down to, it's a great place to work. We have a supportive board, we have a supportive admin team, and we pay well for teachers. We continue to work for that, and we continue to, we got a few things coming up that, is making that process a little more scary as far as teacher pay. But we're in there. We're fighting for our kids, and we want to provide the best educational opportunity we can. And we're excited that we think we're on the right track.
Yeah. Another broad question here. Obviously, every school in the state is impacted by things that happen within the state and the state government. And with that, there's been some change over the last couple months with the new governor, Mike Kehoe, coming in. And what are some of the things that you think will impact this district with the new governor? Are there any concerns with the change?
Sure. Anytime you have a new governor, there's going to be change, for good or for worse. That's still to be seen. Governor Parsons was a pro-education governor, and he set a lot of things in motion. Actually got him out here last year, which was one of the highlights of the school year last year, when Governor Parsons was able to visit our school district. And he cared about rural school districts. I think Mike Kehoe is on the same path. There is some legislation that is coming into effect that's making some change. whether it's good or bad, we're not ready to see yet. It's still out there. He did talk about he's going to fully fund the transportation formula, which means that we'll get all of our money for our transportation and our school buses. He did talk about adding to the voucher program for folks in private schools, which takes some money away, has to take some money away from somewhere, and so we're concerned with that a little bit. The big ballot this year, legislation going through the House and the Senate is going to be school choice. Will that pass? Will people be able to choose which district they want to go to, and that's going to really affect schools differently. It may be having an adverse effect, maybe a positive effect. We just don't know yet. And so he's coming out with some. I was able to meet with his legislative director a couple weeks ago, part of another project that I worked with the city, and voiced my concerns a little bit about what's the future look like. Can you tell us? And there were some budget cuts that are going to come down for the education budget that were promised by Governor Parsons. It's a new regime, it's a new governor, and so he's going to cut some things out, and we just got to see how that plays out. So that's something that our board is aware of, I'm aware of, our admin team is working on it night and day to make sure that we can provide a good quality education with the numbers that we get, and that's always going to be the challenge. We're able to pay for a few extras here and there, and that's with our booster clubs and our Bulldog foundations, and so we got to make sure we take care of the essentials at the state level and the school district level, and make sure we use our tax money wisely.
Yep, definitely. Back to Harrisburg.
Sure.
Now, it has been a really fun and exciting time for the community because what's going on
Sure.
on the basketball court. As of the time that we are filming this interview,
Sure.
both the boys team this year and the girls varsity basketball teams won their district tournaments. It's the first time in a very long time that Harrisburg girls and boys both won a district in the same year. The boys team coming off a sectional win at home. The girls will play tonight against Tipton. You get the big view of all of this, and you see the impact that extracurricular activities have on a district as a whole because of the position that you're in.
Sure.
Discuss that a little bit.
Oh yeah, it's imperative for the total child. We talk about this all the time that some of our goals, CSEP goals, and some of our fundamental ideas here at Harrisburg is we want to produce great citizens who are going to add to the next generation, become great mothers and fathers and workers and educators and just whatever they're going into. And we believe that not only extracurricular activities are a big part of that, and not just the sports. We talked about how we want the best band program, we want the best quiz bowl program, we want the best NHS, the speech tournament. We want all of our kids to have an opportunity to excel, not only in the classroom, because the classroom is the most important reason that we're here, but also outside the classroom. We also talk about our VOTEC kids. We just recently had a student that was in our vocational school that got inducted to their NHS at MATC at the Moberly Area Technical School. And just having those kids have those experiences outside of the classroom has been just a phenomenal experience, and continues to help them grow. When I see them, I'm old enough now where I'm starting to have students that their kids are coming through. The kids that I had taught in school, now their kids are coming through, and I have second generation kids. It's great to me to see how wonderful they've done, or how successful they become because of some of maybe the life lessons they learned, not only in the classroom but also with our band or our athletics, basketball, football, softball. Just some of those extra lessons they learned about how tough to deal with adversity, how to make it through a tough time, how to work together with another group to achieve a common goal. But you asked me about Bulldog basketball, which I always love Bulldog basketball.
Get into it.
And so it's been a great ride this year. We had a little pep rally today, brought all of our kids up, K through 12, and they're doing the Bulldog cheers. And the last time we were able to win a district championship for boys and girls same year was 2008, and I just said, okay, every kid stand up that was alive in 2008, and so only the juniors and seniors and a few sophomores. Everybody else wasn't even alive yet, and so they're kind of looking around. That helps though, that when they see their classmates and their schoolmates and their peers that, hey, this is how to be successful, this is what they had to do, it drives that next generation of band folks, of quiz bowl folks, of music, singers, just whatever the kids are into. We want to provide an opportunity for them to be successful, and I feel like we're doing that right now.
Absolutely. Let me finish with this. This has been a great opportunity to discuss all this with you. Long tenure for you here at Harrisburg. Long legacy. What do we say, 30?
That's 30 years in education, 26 here at Harrisburg.
Yeah. So, obviously, there's been so many highs. Yeah, there have been a couple road bumps, a couple speed bumps, a couple lows throughout that time. But what are some of the thoughts that you want to leave Bulldog Nation with about the school district as it is right now and where you stand as a superintendent? And what are some of those thoughts?
Sure, I'm kind of in my twilight. I'm not exactly out of here yet, but it definitely I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. And it's just been, first off, it's just gratitude. You know, the school district a long time ago took a chance on a young man who was from Harrisburg, but you know, newly married. My wife Carmen and I gave us both jobs way back in 2000, 99, 2000, and you know, we've just seen it, you know, go through our family, go through the school system, and you know, with my mom being here for 37 years before that, and I was a teacher's kid running around here. Just it's a special place for me. I just want to thank the community of Harrisburg for all their dedication and hard work that they have, because you know, it can't be just the board, or can't just be the superintendent or their admin team. It takes everybody. It takes our whole village to make sure that we're successful. And then, you know, what a special place to see our, you know, for my 4 kids now. You know, I've got 2 out of school. I've got Trace, a senior this year, then Brody's an 8th grader. So I'll be around a little bit longer, but it's just exciting to see the growth of this community and the continue of just setting the bar for high achievement in the classroom, outside the classroom, and one that we continue to work hard to be better than we were yesterday. And that's what we don't think you look to, is continue to look to the future. And basically what I'm trying to say is thank you, Harrisburg, for being Harrisburg, and we'll keep going.
Thank you, Mr. Combs, for all of the things that you've done for me and for every single other person here in Bulldog Country. You took a chance on me to be able to do what I'm able to do to help be in this community and help support this community, and I appreciate that. And thank you for leading the charge and leading the mindset of being better every single day. We appreciate it.
Man, I appreciate you, and good luck tonight as your broadcast, and thank you, and we'll keep seeing you around here.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Mr. Combs.